A huge thank you to every one of my super TF addicts who have been supporting me for the past year and also interchanging through the year. If you want to help support me financially, please feel free to head over to any of the links down in the description down below and become a super TF addict today.
TFA 1024, where your entertainment will be transformed! Transformers.
Well, wait, Grog, wait, minute, my fellow addicts, TFA 1024, the Transformers addict here, coming to you with my top 19 figures, specifically Transformers figures, of 2019. Whole reason I'm continuing the trend is just because it was a lot of fun last year, and I figured why not reflect on the year with a lot of great figures, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us can agree that were some of the best figures that came out that year. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. But first, before I continue, I just want to let everyone know that no figure ranks higher or lower. These are just 19 figures that I happen to really enjoy. So let's start off with number 19. To no one's surprise, it is Siege Titan Class Omega Supreme. And I have TF Addict just 4891 to thank for this, because without her, this wouldn't have been a 24th birthday gift. And I absolutely owe her my soul for this. It's just one of the best figures I received all year round, and it's better than any other Titan Class figure I have. If you have not picked up this figure yet, please by all means do so, because if you haven't gotten him, you are missing out. Number 18. What more can I say than number 18 spot is going to number 44, Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. This is the Optimus Prime of my dreams. I have always wanted to see him done properly in the Transformers Dark of the Moon toy line, and 8 years later, they finally did it, and it makes me so happy. Now, do I agree about the $50 price point? To a degree. But it's still quite possibly one of my favorite figures for all the accurate accessories that he comes with, and just the overall accurate vehicle mode. It's still one of my favorite figures to this day, and it will still forever be one of my favorite Optimus Primes that I own. To number 17. Call me blasphemous, call me a fake Transformers fan, just don't call me late for dinner. Number 17 goes to number 26 and number 51, World War II Bumblebee and Hot Rod. I absolutely enjoyed Transformers The Last Knight. While it was a shoehorn of a lot of elements from the previous 4 movies, it was by far one of my favorites. And I absolutely enjoyed the scene with Bumblebee and Hot Rod taking on the Nazis with the United Allies. That was one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen, and I absolutely love the fact that we get to see another form of these characters, including inductee Hot Rod. I really do like these figures. Of course, they do have their flaws, such as very loose hips, but a little bit of floor polish goes a long way. However, Hot Rod somehow manages to make that mold a lot better, sporting a very nice, distinct robot mode compared to Bumblebee. Now, despite them sharing the same vehicle mode, I still enjoy these figures no matter what, and that is why they share the number 17 spot. Number 16. Say what you will about Transformers Revenge of the Fallen being a bad sequel, but you gotta admit it introduced a lot of interesting characters. And Jolt here is no exception. A huge thank you to Jet Optimus 2000 Ultra, otherwise known as Saiyan of Roses, for hooking me up with the number 16 slot, Lost Age Jolt. This figure had to be something Hasbro to release. Like, they just had to. They did it with the Dark of the Moon Jolt, and that's a great mold, but Takara went above and beyond, repainted it, gave it the accurate paint job, and even threw in the Electro Whips, which is something that he was missing from his figures. Yes, I know the original one actually had the Electro Whips as part of the whole Mecha Live gimmick, but I'm talking about actual accessories that very accurately dictate the original design for those Electro Whips, because now he can properly transmit those afterburners. In terms of the figure itself, it looks magnificent with other movie figures. It's quite possibly even the Studio Series Jolt if you really want to take it that far, and honestly, it's not a bad placeholder if we don't get a Studio Series Jolt. Now, the Unsung Hero hasn't gotten a lot of love recently, but I'm hoping Studio Series does make an update, but if not, I'm more than happy to have him, and I'm very happy to put him at number 16. Number 15. The Transformers are in danger of rehashing old ideas into modernized figures. On a serious note, number 15, Siege Leader Class Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime is one of the best Siege figures I have to date. Now, I have pretty much all of the Siege collection at this point, except for Astro Train, but he'll be here soon. But on top of all the leader classes that we got in Shockwave and Astro Train and Siege Optimus, Galaxy Optimus. Honestly, this one is the better of all three of them. As much as I really do like the Armored Upgrade, and Ultra Magnus, I can't forget him. As much as I really like them, there's something very unique and very different about this Optimus. I really like how they managed to make the cab of Optimus as a G1 modernized rendition with the Cybertron style, but they still managed to retain his super mode, and that's honestly what really makes me happy. Now, if you were to tell me to pick between this one and the original, I'd say the original one hands down. But for those of you who remember Cybertron for what it is, I say this is a good figure to have in your collection if you want to show some love for Transformers Cybertron. Number 14. Who in their absolute right mind at Hasbro decided to release an exclusive Takara character like Sound Blaster? And that's why he takes number 14. Siege Sound Blaster is actually another reason why I'm actually on Cybertron.com, because I managed to actually get the review and report it to them before anyone else did. I'm also just pleasantly surprised that Hasbro managed to actually release a Takara exclusive character. It wouldn't be the first time. I mean, we did get Overlord in Transformers Titans Return. But again, it's just so rare for Sound Blaster of all characters to actually get Hasbro released figures. And I think what makes him even more special is the fact that he was released to celebrate 35 years of the Transformers franchise. Which has come a long way and is still going on strong, despite being nothing but rehashed Generation 1 ideas. Nonetheless, I hope that we still get more Japanese exclusive characters, but I feel like it may not happen until way later down the line. I don't know. A man can dream. But for now, I think I'm satisfied with the Symphony of Sound Blaster. Number 13. Call me a liar, call me a cheater, but keep in mind I got you dead in my sights. Number 13 spot goes to the War for Cybertron trilogy incarnations of G1, Crosshairs, Spinister, and their respective Target Master partners, Pinpointer, Hairsplitter, and Singe. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting really tired of the same Generation 1 characters remade and brought into a modern light. Which is why these two is such a nice breath of fresh air after seeing how you haven't had figures since 1987 and 88 respectively. I really enjoy these. Crosshairs being a repaint of Ironhide and Ratchet may turn a lot of people off, but for me personally, as long as he looks like his robot mode, that's my only concern. Spinister looks great too, especially if you manage to get both his Target Masters Hairsplitter and Singe. What more can I say? If you want him, I strongly recommend you pull the trigger. Number 12. Arachnophobes and spider haters, look away, as number 12's spot is going to two very scary creepy crawlies. That's right, number 12 is going to both forms of Beast Wars Tarantulas, respectively his normal form as well as his Transmetal form, which I have to thank the Transmetal form thanks to Eli Thanatos Prime for once again making another one of my lists. Tarantulas is one of my all-time favorite Beast Wars characters. Yes, it's because he's a spider. Just don't go asking me how I feel about Black Arachnia. I'm so happy to have both forms of this character though. That's one thing I always enjoy with the Transformers, is just seeing the evolution of character designs. But there's one thing that will never change, and that is my love for this crazy spider. Number 11. It is the year 2005. The Transformers Cybertron line is blossoming with all kinds of amazing figures, including a fantastic repaint of the Cybertron Leader Class Megatron. And that's why number 11 goes to Cybertron Galvatron, one of my all-time favorite Holy Grail figures from the Transformers Cybertron toy line. He was one of the few figures to actually escape me when I grew up as a kid. I had literally every single Transformers Cybertron character, including the ones who didn't show up in the show just for extras. But of course, during the move from Pennsylvania to Florida, I lost a good majority of them. However, 2019 managed to surprise me with allowing me to actually complete the entire Transformers Cybertron cast. I can't express how much I absolutely adore this figure. It is so big, it is so beefy, it feels good, and it was a joint effort thanks to my amazing fiancé TF Addict just 4891 and I. I merely placed the bid, and we kind of just split the payment 50-50. But suffice to say, Galvatron. Just Galvatron. So nice to finally have him. Number 10. Ew! He put a Transformers Energon figure on his list, the worst incarnation! Before you keyboard warriors go typing away with your Cheeto-encrusted fingers, let me explain. Number 10 is a very special figure, and it goes to Energon Tidal Wave. Also, a big shout out to Marvelous Prime, who once again managed to actually get on one of my lists. Tidal Wave is my all-time favorite Decepticon from Transformers Armada. And when I saw him in Transformers Energon, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, after having the Armada figure for so many years, and never able to obtain this one after so long, it's just nice to finally have him. And I can't help but just feel a wave of happiness crash over me as I stare at this nautical Decepticon. Number 9. Triple the modes, triple the fun. And that's why number 9 goes to the War for Cybertron trilogy incarnation of G1 Springer. As much as I enjoy the thrilling 30s Springer, it's so nice to have one that just looks so simplistic, so elegant, and so sublime. I really love the way that they captured the very essence of the original Generation 1 Springer and brought it back to life in the modern day. Because now finally, after almost 35 years, we have a complete set of the Autobot triple changers and a proper iteration to go with your Generations Thrilling 30 or Titans Return RC. They may have had a few different figures and he barely shows up in toy lines, but Springer's toys have better things to do tonight than die. Number 8. Believe me when I say I am trying to make this list have a nice variety to it, but with a line like Studio Series, you cannot blame me. That is why number 8 spot goes to Studio Series number 52, RC, Chromia, and Elita 1. Finally, after 10 years of their initial release from the Revenge of the Fallen toy line, Hasbro and Takara team up and make some nice little Legends scale versions of the Motorbike Sisters. And I'm very happy about it too. If you looked at Jolt's little spot, you notice I included them in the group shot with him, Sideswipe, Mudflap, and Skids. And they actually scale really well with other movie bots. What blows my mind even more is that we finally have a trio of the RC triplets to go well with our Revenge of the Fallen Sideways. Also, Studio Series Sideways when? While these three may be small and they have limited articulation, I can tell you this, they bring a lot of big fun to the table. Number 7. Yeesh, that's a face only a mother could love. And me too, apparently. Number 7 spot goes to the Studio Series number 31 Target exclusive Battle Damaged Megatron. I can't exactly speak for anyone else, but I can for sure say I was really excited to see we were getting the evolutionary stage of Megatron between Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. It's an interesting, yet a weird occurrence, but I'm happy nonetheless. However, I can't exactly say the same for Megatron. Having a battle damaged version of yourself released as a toy? Can't exactly help but feel bad for the guy. Number 6. Is Hasbro just listening into our conversations? Or are they legitimately doing these character designs justice? Number 6 spot goes to Studio Series number 34 Leader Class Dark of the Moon Megatron. Finally, we no longer need to beg so much for a Leader Class Dark of the Moon Megatron. And the best part is, and credit to Larry Arts Productions for saying this in his video, this actually feels like a Dark of the Moon toy. I'm not kidding. If you get this and you compare this to, say, Dark of the Moon Leader Sentinel, there's a similar feel to him. It's very interesting. I also just like the fact that they threw in Igor as a little bonus. I don't know, something about that just seems really funny to me. I just still can't believe we managed to get this incarnation of Megatron. Is Studio Series great or what? Number 5. It's the classic age-old story of the Transformers. One shall stand, and one shall fall. That is why number 5 goes to both 35th anniversary cel-shaded versions of the War for Cybertron Siege, Optimus Prime, and Megatron. These two look remarkable in hand. The pictures that Hasbro put out for promoting these did not do them justice, because despite being repaints of the original molds, they somehow managed to capture the essence and the actual classic style a lot better than the originals. Not to mention, I think this is the first time that we ever got cel-shaded animation versions of these guys, or anyone in general. I'm just glad they took an opportunity, and it's a very unique one that stands out a lot better than the rest. Number 4. At last, there is hope after all. Hope for a new Age of Extinction helicopter drift figure, that is. And that's why number 4 goes to Studio Series number 45, Age of Extinction Drift. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought for a good duration of the time we were just gonna be stuck with the Dark of the Moon Skyhammer repaint from the Age of Extinction toy line. But lo and behold, Studio Series actually came through and gave us another pleasant surprise with a very great, unique remold from the Dropkick figure. Helicopter Dropkick, I mean. And it actually looks really good. Very accurate and very true to the source material, despite a couple things. But they're little things that don't really take anything away from the figure. So if you're looking to get this guy to your collection, I strongly advise you do so. So that way he can be properly portrayed with the pathetic, dirty foursome. Number 3. Can they fix it? Well, if it is Megatron, then yes they can. Number 3 goes to both Studio Series number 41 and number 47, Constructicon Scrap Metal and Hightower. Now, just like the RC Triplet 3-pack, we finally get iterations of the Constructicons, especially Hightower, in a nice new modern-day deluxe class. And it makes me remarkably joyous because I have always longed to see the Constructicons from Revenge of the Fallen as toys. And here we are. 2019 did it, baby. Plus, with the announcement of Devastator, yeah, must need if you're an absolute movie fan like me. Number 2. Jettison some weight or we'll never make it to number 1. And as much as I'm being a hypocrite, I don't care. Number 2 selection goes to the War for Cybertron Siege Leader Class Astro Train. And I, along with Hasbro, use the term Leader Class very, very lightly. But I'll save that rant for the review, whenever it comes out. In terms of Astro Train, he's perfect. Well, aside from the shuttle looking like it's halfway done, but honestly, there had to be sacrifices made somewhere, and with the way that this transforms, I can forgive it. Especially compared to the Titans Return one. Which, to its right, it is a good one, it's just not the Astro Train we wanted. That one kind of goes for a more Cybertronian aesthetic. This goes for a sheer Generation 1 1985 aesthetic. And I normally try to keep my stuff family friendly, but I can't help it. Holy shit, will you look at this train mode? What's funny is, I'm not even a train person, and I just really like this. And as well as Astro Train has done in the past with some hit and misses, this is a definite staple Generation 1 Astro Train. If you want him, please, all aboard the hype Astro Train. Woo woo! It's all led to this. Over 100 figures in 2019, and we're down to number 1. And just like the candidates on this list, I will still love it equally. My number 1 figure for 2019 is... combined from the most murderous killers in all of the Decepticon faction, it is Iron Factory Spirits of the DEC Combined Mode. As I like to call it, Genocide. This figure is a literal epitome of what the DJD stand for. 5 homicidal psychopaths combining into one cohesive form. That is a very terrifying thought. What makes it worse is that you very well know that each member of the DJD would absolutely love it. I have always dreamed about seeing the DJD done justice for so many years. They are a group of characters in the IDW comic universe that I absolutely enjoy no matter what they do. I love Tarn, how he's completely bureaucratic and runs the thing like a business, but he also takes so much pleasure in sadistically killing his victims. I love Kaon, I love Voss, I love Tessaurus, and I love Helix. Just having a culmination of all 5 of them combined, both physically and mentally, with pertaining each of their attributes. Man! And all of this was possible thanks to TF Addictors 4891, who's once again made this list. I've gotten a lot of great figures through the year, over 120 of them, but this one by far is the one that I absolutely love the most because it puts a smile right on my face every time I look at this behemoth. So there you go. There's all 19 figures of 2019 that I thoroughly enjoyed. I know I kind of cheated a little bit, but this list is opinionated, so I figured why not make it so. And if you happen to have your own list, please feel free to share down in the... Oh. Right. My comments may not work anymore. Yeah, unfortunately, I made the decision to switch my stuff as made for kids because I don't know about you, but I want to play it safe on YouTube. So here's what you can do. If by a chance you happen to have an Instagram account, please feel free to follow me at instagram.com/TFA1024. When I make a post about this specific video going live, feel free to engage in the comment section on that post on Instagram, or, and this is a possibility, but I'll make sure I leave an update or something somehow, I'll be making my own personal Discord server for all my TF addicts who want to be part of it. Now, I can't promise I'll always be there 100% of the time, given my responsibilities in the real world, outside of the social medias, but I will do my best to try and interact with you guys as much as possible. I know this is a very sucky change, but this is something that's going to be for the better, and hopefully YouTube and the FTC can work something out during this whole COPPA situation. But seriously, if you happen to have your own list of your top 19 figures from 2019, or top 10, or top 9, whatever you want to do, please feel free to engage with me in the comment section on that post on Instagram. I would sincerely appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure we'd have a lot of fun discussing. Also, if you want to support me, now more than ever during all this YouTube BS, it is very important to support your favorite creators in multiple ways if you decide to do so, and one of those ways is Patreon. I do have a Patreon. I will be leaving a link in the description of this video down below, so please click that link, check out the tiers. If you want to donate, fine. If not, just please continue to show your support in the various ways you decide to do so. But with all that being said, my fellow addicts, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So this has been my top 19 figures of 2019, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And please remember, my fellow addicts, until next time, to get addicted, stay addicted, and TF addicts for life! This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, rolling out till all are one.